And welcome to the next episode of the build series for Nimbus, my 2016 S1000Rr. And today we're going to be installing something super awesome that goes right there. A clear clutch cover, alright? I've had this clear clutch cover for, I don't know, about like 8 months or so. And it's been sitting right there looking all pretty. But today we're finally going to be installing this. The main reason I didn't install it for so long was the fairings blocked it, and the aftermarket fairings that I had on this bike were so hard to put on that taking them off and then putting them back on would have been a headache. So we finally stripped down the entire bike, as you guys can see. Only fairings left is that one right there, and the only reason that one's left is because it holds the headlights, and I don't want to remove the cowling, and then I'm not sure, I think the headlights will fall out. So plus it looks kind of cooler having a head. So we left it there, but now the entire bike stripped out. We're going to put the OEM fairings back on, but before we do that, we're going to be installing a clear clutch cover from TL Performance, and hope you guys enjoy it. First time doing this, we're going to learn, and if I can do it, then you guys can do it too. This is not a step-by-step installation. This is a highlight video of me working on my bike and sharing this experience with you guys. So I'm gonna head over there, and then we're gonna unbox this bad boy right here, which I've already taken out of the box. But I haven't unwrapped or cut anything open yet, so this is gonna be a first for us together. All right, let's head over and do the unboxing. And we're back. So I did take this out of the box when it first got here. Just wanted to make sure that everything's here, everything looks good. But ever since then, that was whenever I got the package, like 8 months ago or something. I haven't done anything since, so this is gonna be, I honestly don't even remember how it looks like. So this is gonna be something we'll be experiencing together, basically, so yeah. So we are working with Vick, or I think it's TL Performance. So yeah, we are working with him. This is his bike. It's kind of cool how he sends a keychain of his bike. It's a really cool looking bike. It's like a two-tone bike, so you guys can kind of see the red or the orange there. So half of his S1000 is one color and the other half is another color. He has this really cool titanium exhaust. I'll have all the links in the description below. This is in partnership with him. And he actually creates these clear clutch covers, but always remember that I got this part because I actually want this part on my bike. And also, everything I will say will be it'll be kind of cool if one side was, you know, orange or red, whatever, is like this two-tone bike. That'd be kind of cool because this bike has a unique feature. I've thought about doing it for our bike, but we'll see. And yeah, the red thing right there is actually the clear clutch cover, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, so I'm gonna be truly honest, doesn't matter if we're partnering up with anyone. We will be checking out the other clear clutch covers that people have started making for this bike, but honestly, this one I feel is the best one just for aesthetic wise. That's the reason I got it. I don't remember how it looks anymore, but that's the reason that we got it. We'll keep this right there. All right, even better, it's right there. I don't use keychains on my bike. I like it to be just switch or the key for the bike itself. It kind of feels like you're a pilot. So yeah, I used to have things on my bike keychain, but not anymore, but we'll still keep it because it's cool. All right, so all foamed up. We have a piece of paper right here. All right, so we have instructions, and this is actually how it looks like. Honestly, the biggest recommendation I would give to this company, to TL Performance, is make a video. That's the best thing you could ever do, and people will love you for it. I'll love you for it. Or did I open it? Because this is sealed. Yeah, this is sealed. This is sealed right here. Maybe I opened certain portions of it, or did I just jimmy this out? Can I just shimmy this out of here? Oh my God, there it is. So here it is, clear clutch cover. Looks amazing. Yeah, so I didn't unwrap this part, so we'll do it together. So this is a clear clutch cover itself. Then we'll take out what's in here. We have colored bolts. Yeah, see, I don't even remember exactly everything that I ordered because it's been so long. All right, so we have, I'm not sure if these are actually titanium bolts or these are those cool blued, hued, like titanium-like bolts. I feel like in movies where people empty out diamonds into their bare hands, this is what it feels like. All right, so if you guys can see, it says TL and then Performance on the bottom. Looks really cool. Not sure exactly where these pieces would go because it's been so long, man. It's been so long. So yeah, you guys see how it says TL Performance. It'd be kind of cool if it said it in black instead, because then it would match the black cover. but yeah, that's cool. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 of these. I'm pretty sure you're gonna take some screw off and put this on here. And then we have the other bolts itself. Not exactly sure where these will go. Oh, I think these will go on the outside. So instead of using the OEM bolts, we'll be using these bolts to put it on. It'll kind of make this look all nice and cute and sexy. All right, let's go to the main piece. Looks amazing. You guys can see it says TL Performance. And yeah, looks like someone wiped this down, so yeah, we'll have to clean the glass. If like someone wiped it down, or maybe it's from the plastic wrapping itself. You see all those smudges, and yeah. But this is a cool black cover. We're gonna be replacing the OEM cover, putting this on. And then I got this in gold. I'm still trying to figure out the color scheme on the bike. And then the oil filler cap comes in gold as well. Oh, that looks so cool. So this is the bolt. Not sure what any of this stuff is made of. It's extremely light. You know, I've always liked things that are nice and heavy. Light just makes it feel like it's not worth as much as you would want it to be. But it looks really nice. The finish is really, really good. You can't really pick it up on camera. Like I'm looking through the lens right now and it looks so like bland, but there's so much detail and it looks so much darker and better in person. So you have the bolt right there for this back. And then we have the clutch plate itself, not the clutch plate, the cover itself, and then the black bolts. So you can choose a lot of different customizations. Again, I'll leave links in the description below for you to contact TL Performance. But yeah, there's a lot of different color combinations you could choose from. This is all the stuff that we got from TL Performance. This is they're gonna replace the OEM clutch cover. We'll take that off, we'll put this one in. And these bolts right here, they look amazing, look at that. So the TL Performance on all the gold pieces, they kind of look lighter, but they're a little bit darker in person. It's looking lighter in the camera, but they're actually the same exact color. Like as you guys can see, probably the light's hitting it, but right now if you guys see this and that color kind of looks different, it's basically the same. Then we have these bolts. I'm not sure if they're titanium, but they have that cool blue purplish finish. So these 4 and 8, that was that 6, 8, 6, 4, 10 bolts will go, I'm pretty sure, in here. So we'll replace the OEM bolts with those bolts, and then the clutch pressure plate or something that's called, that's inside here. Once we actually take the cover off, I'll show you guys. Right now it's blocked, so I can't really show it to you, but there's like springs and stuff in there, and I believe we'll take the OEM ones out and we'll put this, we'll replace it with these. So these just look amazing. Again, I'm not sure if it's titanium or not. Maybe not. From the inside is really cool because it's all gold from the inside. And then you have the purplish shoe on the outside. But yeah, let's look at them roll. So nice. The only thing that we don't have is actual a pressure plate that's different from the OEM one. So we sadly cannot do the build episode today, or for me not today, for you guys just next clip, but I will try to find a pressure plate, because if I'm taking the clutch cover, the OEM clutch cover off, and I'm going to be putting on the new one, I'm going to be replacing bolts, replacing these bolts as well. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to use Loctite on the bolts anyways. I don't want to put this on and then after that take it back off later on to put the new pressure plate on. So I'm gonna look for a pressure plate that we can use, an aftermarket one. So then when we install the TL Performance clutch cover, we'll have all the parts, and this will be a one-time job. I can put Loctite on all these bolts, the gasket, I have the sealant for the gasket as well. We'll just put all that stuff on and just make it a one-time job. I don't wanna come back over and over, remove things, put it back on, do it all together. But so far we did the unboxing for the TL Performance parts. I'm not sure which performance plate or the pressure plate that I'll get, but you'll guys see in the next clip we'll be unboxing it. But for now, I'm gonna go find one. And we're back. All right, so it's been a couple months. As you guys can see, there's a lot going on here. I'm on a tripod right now, so trying to show you guys everything is gonna be hard. And the last clip that I shot was, I wanna say at least 2 months ago or something, but we got a lot of new stuff here. Or not new stuff, but updated stuff. So I don't know exactly what I showed you guys last time. I think I showed you the clutch cover, the clear clutch cover. I mentioned how we didn't have like the inner ring, the The pressure plate, we didn't have that. I also mentioned how color of the clutch rim or the bolts, or I don't know, it wasn't the right color. We were missing one piece, and we're gonna get it powder coated. We're gonna get the other piece as well, and a bunch of all that stuff. So as you guys can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then something back here, like right there. Let me show you. It's right there. But I took out a lot of tools that I think we'll need. Scalper, Loctite, Ultra Black, I love that. Gasket maker, oil resistant thing, waterproof grease. We have, I don't know, I just got a lot of random stuff. A little snap-on little screwdriver thingy with a notchy thingy, and a bunch of different heads. You know, that sounds dirty, but I think that's what it's called, different head types, which, you know, also exists in real life, but hopefully that's everything that we need. So yeah, let's first start with unwrapping. So I want to start off with this. Here it is. Alright, so this here is a clear clutch cover. As you guys can see, the artificial light is hitting it from this direction, so it looks all garbage, but it doesn't actually look like that. Let's see if I can block the light. So yeah, kind of like that. I don't want to turn off the artificial light, but it's a neon greenish yellow, more on the greenish side than the yellow side, because the yellow, if you guys see neon yellow in real life, it looks more plain and drawn out. So we went with more of a greenish side of a neon. Actually remove this. So we got this powder coated by my buddy, and you'll actually see the authentic color. So this is the actual color that we first had. It was this gold color. Amazing color. I like the gold. It looks really cool. Kind of like bronzish thing going on. I didn't want this color because it wouldn't match to the look of the bike that I want to go for. I wanted to get powder coated or a custom color from Vick, but I believe at that time he doesn't do it. I don't know if he does it now, but at that time he didn't do custom colors. So we wanted to get this colored, and I can't believe that this camera can't pick it up. It is not this bright. This looks so like light lime green. It is not as a perfect neon. I actually showed this on my stories. That was better. Oh my god, it's just being drawn out because of the lighting. I don't know how to do this. Give me a second. I can't get it to show its natural color. There's just too much light in the hyperbolic time chamber right now. But as you guys can see, we have paint all the way in there. It was really tough to get this powder coated correctly, but I think we did a good job. Again, the color, I'll have to, once we move angles or something, I'll have to show it to you, because this is just not doing it justice right now. Yeah, this is impossible to show. I tried a bunch of different angles, trying to cover it. Like, this kind of shows it, but it's not. Like, I'm seeing it in person right now, and the color that's showing on the lens is just, this isn't it. Problem is, there's just so much light coming in, I can't, you know, destroy the sun and show you guys this. Or even if I block off the artificial lighting, it just doesn't come out. But eventually you guys will see it once we go more inside the hyperbolic time chamber and show like a different angle. But yeah, so this is, oh god, I hate this. I can't believe I can't show it to you. Okay, anyways, we powder coated this. We wrapped off the threads because you don't want to get that powder coated. So this did add some sort of weight, I'm pretty sure, because it's a powder coat. It's a coat that goes over the material. So yeah, we have that. I can't believe I can't show it to you guys. So this is the oil drain, not oil, oil fill plug cap thingy, which will go right into, I love when things just fit. We'll go right here. Again, neon. It's a neon color, all right? We have that, so you can kind of see it there. I just have to like totally like block it, and then you can kind of see the color. Can't believe it's being drawn out by a lens. So what I did was, we had to also take off the, here you guys can see the still different colors and stuff. I really had to scrape off all of the sealant that was on here. So when I got this from Vick, he actually had the glass and the rim on here, and then I had to take that off and remove all that stuff because I wanted to get it powder coated, and you can't get the rim, which is sitting right here. You can't get this thing powder coated with the glass on there because the glass would melt. So let's unbox this. All right, so this is being this is drawn out as well. All right, at least the colors kind of match. So this right here, let me push this back further. This right here is the clutch cover rim. So basically this just sits like that, matches up with the holes, and then you put the little thingy through the hole. So basically nature takes its course as we install this. So as you can see the sides, it's all gold. And then we have the little holes. They did it, like my buddy did an amazing job. Let's see if I can get that, like it is flawless. this, like the hole and everything, like even inside the hole, like this thing, it is seriously flawless how he powder coated this for me. But it has all these little natural curves. I really love the work that Vick did in creating this. So this is gonna be the clutch cover rim. The glass will go inside, it will sit right along here. I'm gonna have to put some sealant, which I'm pretty sure is gonna be this sealant right here, because the mirror or the glass will go here. Has a clutch as you open up your bike and the oil and stuff comes in here. The oil bath, the oil aquarium, whatever you wanna call it, that happens. You don't want the oil to come out from the sides. So we're gonna have the mirror or the glass there, and then we're gonna close off all this, and then we gotta put sealant on here, which is then gonna sit on that. Actually, let me show you the glass as well. Kept this in bubble wrap. This is gonna go inside, but I'll open this and then yeah, just like that, it just sits right in there. And then we just gotta add the gasket, sealant stuff, and then this will sit right there. Pretty sure this is gonna fall if I don't know, we're just not gonna do that. We'll leave this, no more scratches on this. Keep this on the side. But yeah, so we got that clutch, so we got this powder coated, we got this little cap powder coated, and then we come down to the screws. I wanna show you something before that, but I wanna show you all the stuff that we got powder coated first. Then we can move on to the, so then we got this powder coated as well. So we're gonna have these sitting inside of this, like that perfectly. Again, the color is drawn out, but at least it's, you know, at least all of these colors match. So when I show you the actual color, you'll see that all of these match perfectly. These black screws will be the thing that'll hold this in place. So this will go inside. So I didn't touch these. These are the originals from Vick. Last time, if you guys remember our previous clip, I mentioned that we didn't have a pressure plate for this. I didn't want to use the stock one because I don't want to put this on and then later on get a stock one and then, or a aftermarket one. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm taking the clutch cover off and going through all this work. Might as well upgrade the pressure plate as well. So here is the pressure plate by CNC Racing. So this comes off lighter as well. This is a not much darker, but a pretty darker, cooler blue. And this comes off much lighter in the camera. I'll have to make lighting better. But yeah, this is from CNC Racing. And there's a lot of colorways you can get. I got the blue with the black on top. You can get this all full one color. You can also get this black part in silver, or you can get this black part in blue. I just thought it would look kind of cool with this back part, this being black, and then this goes inside. I'll show you guys that. I'm kind of butchering the entire look of everything, but you'll have a better understanding once we actually install everything. And this will go over. So we'll take the OEM pressure plate off. We'll put these little caps thing, and we'll put the little screws that are provided right here into that. Might as well just do the entire thing, right? Boom. So all that stuff goes in there. We got the cap in there. Then we'll have the glass within here. I don't want to put that right now. And then this will sit right up top like that. And then boom, we have our final piece. And then it's gonna look just like that. Let me just, yeah. Please focus, for the love of God, focus. All right, so it's gonna look like that. So this is what the idea I was going for. So the main color of the S1000 for Nimbus is going to be blue with accents of neon. This is, again, not the real neon you guys are seeing. It's much darker, cooler, and just more beautiful and wholesome and like candy-like neon. So we have the oil plug, filler plug thingy. Got that done, and this is in neon, the accent piece. The clutch cover rim is in neon. Then actually the pieces you guys are seeing inside that are covered up, these little caps in there, the neon ones, that's actually closer to the color that is the true color. So then that's going to be there, and then we have these little blue things. So there's kind of like a adverse effect of, you got the neon, then you got the blue, you got the blue inside, then you got the neon, then you got the blue again, and then you got the neon outside, then you got the blue, black, and you got the black outside. So this is gonna look much better once it's on the bike and I show you actually what the color looks like. But this is what we're gonna be going for, because the rims I'm gonna get powder coated by the same people. We're gonna have it the same neon color. So it's The fairings are going to be blue. The accents are all going to be neon. So that's basically how it's going to look. I want to show you more, but I feel like I already dragged this on so much and the color is just not coming through. So showing you details won't really matter. Yeah, so I think we're all good. We have all the pieces that we need. Now I just have to put all this stuff together, like the rim, this thing to that, and the glass, and then we're ready to install. So let me do all that, and then we'll get back to actually installing this. Alright, so I ended up doing it all over again. Guys, the footage you guys just saw, I ended up taking out the glass, and instead of putting it on the rim, I ended up putting it on the glass, and I got a Q-tip. It was a lot better to smear inside, so I put a little bit more of a, not a thicker layer, but more of a layer than the one that you guys just saw the clip of. And I put it on the glass instead because I was only putting it on one part of the rim, but the glass touches two parts of the rim. So I put on the glass, it touches two parts, so when I put the glass inside to the clutch rim thingy, it'll touch both sides. I smeared it evenly with a Q-tip, and then it's under here. I wrapped it in this little paper parchment thingy, and then I put something heavy over it to keep it on there. This is a lot better. And then the other tool you guys just saw, I'm going to use that for the clutch cover itself instead of using a Q-tip, because Q-tip worked better for this one, but for the other one I have so much more room to work with that I can easily just put that applier instead. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you, and this time I had to get really up in there to apply it, so I couldn't record that part. But yeah, I did another layer and used the Q-tip. I wanted to record the process of me actually adding all the screws and the gasket part, but it needs so much attention to all the detail, making sure it's getting in there, making sure I'm following directions, because this is the first time I'm doing it. I wasn't able to really record that process because I was like, my face was just in this as I was installing it. The lighting is still garbage, so you guys can't see. It's beautiful candy neon color. That's what I'm gonna call it, candy neon. I think that fits perfectly if you see it in person. Been cleaning gasket, all that stuff off a lot. You can see all that clean, perfect looking glass, clean it with the microfiber cloth. I kind of understood reading more about the gasket thingy of what it actually does, oil resistant and stuff like that. So I kind of basically what I'm saying is I understand what it does now. So I was able to apply it a lot better. When you take the screws off, you guys remember where I showed you where I cleaned that part off. It was all bluish and stuff. I added the gasket maker on there, and then this thing was a lifesaver, the scraper. Used a scraper and actually smeared it all around. Then I had a little nail that I used to make sure that it didn't go into the holes of the bolts where these go. So I don't want the gasket maker to go in there. Smeared it everywhere perfectly around the O-ring thingy, whatever that is. You have to put this on the clear clutch cover when the gasket maker the silicone thing is still wet. You can't put it when it's dry because it's basically defeated its purpose. So it was wet, put it on here, put the bolts in. I ended up using blue Loctite, which I need to get the other versions of Loctite because for this case, when you use blue, it says right here, blue is removable. It says removable. These bolts don't need to be ever removed ever. They're part of this assembly. They don't need to come off ever. So using blue Loctite wouldn't really make sense. But for now, I put a lot of it. I would say maybe I added more than I should. Maybe that helps it be more sealed or whatever. It's just I just want to get this done. So I should be good. I'll monitor these screws. Haven't torqued them yet because I need to wait until this is dried for an hour. Then I can torque these, but they're basically pretty in. Tighten it to the point where the little thingy said that tighten it to the point where the extra sealant oozes out from the sides. So that oozed out, and that's basically what this is. I took off all the extras, cleaned it, and then I flipped this over and did the bottom part you guys see inside there. I did that as well. Now we just let it sit, and it says 24 hours to cure. I just don't get how to test this. But I think I did everything right. I followed the directions of how you use a gasket thingy sealant. So I think it should be good. So I'm just gonna go ahead with an install tomorrow, but we gotta let this cure for 24 hours. The day after I'll come back in and then we'll actually do the actual installation of the pressure plate and all this stuff, opening up Nimbus. It's kind of messy over here, but the fairings are still off. The bike's been fully cleaned. That's the clutch cover right there, so we're going to be removing those bolts, all that stuff. That little black plug, that's the oil fill plug. That's the one we got neon. So we're going to take that entire setup off, keep the bike on the side stand. The bike currently has no oil. That just did an oil change, so we should be good. Should be a little bit of oil coming out, but not a lot. Just need that part thingy over there to cure, and then we are good to go. So I will see you then. And we are back. It has been a day and a half for this to sit and for the gasket stuff to sit and cure. The color, I have no artificial lighting on this right now. It's all natural light, and the camera can still not pick up the original color. There you go. Kind of, if you look in this little area, that's like the original color right there. It's a dark neon candy, or not dark, but like a neon candy or candy neon color. So we have that ready to go. I looked at it and looked at all the little areas, the inside, the outside, it's under, everything looks good. We have the pressure plate right here. We have Travis Scott playing as well, franchise. And then we have the actual bike Nimbus. So got all the fairings off. There's no oil in here. I have the bike on the side stand. I don't even think I needed to have it on the side stand because there's no oil in here. I'm currently doing an oil change, but thought the best time to do the clutch cover was when I'm doing my yearly oil change on the bike and the filter. So filters have been changed down there. Oil has been all drained out. So when we open this, so this right here is a clutch cover. This is that oil plug thingy that we're going to be replacing. That's the candy neon. So we're going to be removing this, and then we'll be adding the pressure plate, the CNC one, and then we'll be adding the cover itself. No oil should leak. Like I said, I did an oil change, so nothing should leak. I can even have this on a center stand and nothing should come out. There will be a little bit of oil in here, very small amounts, I believe. But besides that, we should be all bone dry in here. I think we are ready to go. I'm very nervous because this is the first time that I'm ever touching such an intricate part of the motorcycle for Nimbus, and I just don't want to mess it up, but it seems like a basic install. So I'm gonna put the camera up on a side stand or a tripod, and then we'll start taking off these bolts, and then you guys will see what it looks like inside, and then we'll start doing the install. I'll try to talk over as much as I can, but overall it's just gonna be me wrenching on the bike. So enjoy. Alright, so took off all the screws, and then this clutch cover, the OEM one, came off, and I honestly thought this would weigh a lot more and be heavier, but this thing is like crazy light, like paper light. So that's the crazy part. I thought it would be much more heavier. So we have the original gasket on here, and I believe that this white line that you guys are seeing, that this is the sealant that I'm supposed to be applying. I don't think I'm supposed to apply it everywhere, but only where you actually see that little white mark or the gray mark. Not sure though, could be wrong about that. Because I am kind of curious on where exactly am I supposed to be adding the sealant, the gasket sealant, the oil resistant sealant. But yeah, either way, the cover is off. And then for those who actually want to see the oil or the clutch setup of a S1000 for Nimbus actually, this is how it looks like. This is the first time I've seen it in videos. We're gonna be doing a similar mod for Broly, the V4. So we're gonna see. So this is the BMW. So we'll also see Ducati's clutch and how that stuff looks. And I'm pretty sure it's similar, but I don't know, may not be. So we're gonna be removing these bolts right here. And then you know the neon gold, the candy neon little caps we have. That's where I think this silver thing is gonna get replaced with that. And then the cool bolts that Vick provided us, we're gonna be putting that in these little springs, coils. I don't know, I think they're called springs, but I think I've heard people say coils as well. But yeah, so we'll be removing these 6. This pressure plate, that blue one that you guys see, is gonna be replacing this thing right here. So this OEM heavy thing, this should be heavy, right? I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna be replacing that, and then basically putting on, we're going to be reusing the gasket. We're not going to be getting a new one, because everywhere I read, everyone said that you can just reuse it. You don't have to get a new one. Honestly though, I really did want to get a new one. I just didn't think about getting a new one. I honestly would have just, yeah, you can reuse them, but why not just get a new one when it's not a big deal. But yeah, we're going to clean up everything on the outsides here. See if there's any old sealant. I don't see any old sealant on here. Maybe this little gray stuff right here. Slight, very basic gray stuff, which is easily coming off. I don't know. We'll clean this up, and as you guys can see, no oil. Not even inside there. You can't see any oil in there. So this bike is completely drained right now. So I got to make sure I don't turn it on, which I can't because the battery is unplugged. I made sure to unplug the battery. So in case I was stupid enough to ever try to start this bike without any oil in it. But yeah, so next up is we're going to take these little pieces off. And then once this is off, we'll compare everything with what we're going to be installing onto the bike. So all this stuff is OEM. The stuff we're going to be installing is all aftermarket. So cool comparison of what we're going to be putting on Nimbus. As you guys saw, we took off the springs. It took a while because I had to go in a star-shaped pattern to take those off because those springs are loaded. So you don't want to take one side off. It'll disbalance whatever this mechanism is. So that was what was recommended. So went in a star-shaped pattern and then took them all out, and then finally used my hand to do the final turns, take each of them out in a counter or a clockwise pattern. I don't know, I did that for fun. I don't know if you're supposed to do that or not. So now we need to remove this little clutch plate, just like that. But before we do that, I'm gonna show you guys the other parts. All right, so here is the springs that we took out. I don't know why some of them are orange and some aren't. Not exactly sure why. I don't think it's rusted, right? That can't be it, because nobody ever mentioned to check these for rust. Either way, we have the bolt in here. Actually, this one looks better. I don't know, it looks like it's red, like hot. Like whenever you take something out, the metal is extremely hot. So we took this little bolt out, and then we have this little cap. That's the cap right there. So that cap will come in, go into this piece right here, and this bolt will be replaced with these small bolts. Not these big ones, but there's some small ones in there. It'll be replaced with that. So this part should be fairly simple. We're going to be reusing these little springs, so that's not going to be an issue. There are somewhat wet with oil, as you can see, a little bit of oil marks. It didn't say anywhere that we need to dip these in oil again because it's already in the clutch, so it's gonna get oil bathed or bathed or whatever, so we don't need to dip them in oil before we put them in there. So we're gonna be replacing these two, like I mentioned, but before we're gonna remove the other part. So that part that we're about to remove is gonna be replaced with this. So let's go ahead and remove that part, and then we'll showcase everything that we have now, what we're going to be replacing, what's OEM, what's aftermarket, and then take it from there. Alright, so we have it off. That was a bit scary because this clutch plate was coming out, and I didn't want that to happen because, well, I don't know. But we kind of pushed it back there. I don't think there's any alignment issues. Hopefully not. As you guys can see, there's a little bit of oil there. Those springs go on top of this, and the bolt goes threaded into that. Threaded into those holes right there. Don't know what this is. I want to turn it really badly, but we're not gonna, because I just want to go like that and turn it either way to see if it moves. When I was taking off the springs the very first time, this thing moved, or this thing shifted, but I think that's natural. We're gonna leave it the way it is. A little bit of oil. We're not gonna touch anything on this now before we reassemble the parts, so we're all done here. Now coming back to this piece right here, this is what we took off. For some reason it was like this, maybe because this thing rotates, so that's why I was upside down. It has a little QR code thingy on there, which is pretty cool. And then it has the little ball bearings that you guys see right there in the middle with the little magnetic balls. Alright, so I wanted to show you guys a full comparison. So I think just seeing everything together would be a lot better of what exactly was the OEM on the bike and what's going to be the aftermarket and where was it from. So just gives you guys a better overview of everything. So let's start off with the pressure plate itself. This was from CNC Racing. This is the aftermarket, this is the original one. As you guys can see, very, very big difference. The ball bearing, this is the OEM one. This one came with it, which is amazing. This one feels a little bit heavier, better design, looks a lot cooler, and actually looks bigger than this one when I look at it through this lens. But when I see it in person, it looks the same. Maybe because this one's higher, it just shows off that effect. Next, we come to the springs, the caps, and the cap screws, or the spring screws. So these are the OEM springs. So we're going to be reusing this. Actually, this one's perfect because this one's already taken out. We're going to be using this. Why is it orange? Don't know. They have a little bit of oil in them because, well, the clutch has oil. So this right here was provided by Vick. This is the cap for the spring. This is the OEM one. As you guys can see, very big difference. OEM spec, but just a lot nicer. Yeah, just a lot nicer. This actually came in gold, but we got this powder coated. Make sure when you get anything powder coated, that's going to be on the inside, that it's done very perfectly or correctly, because you don't want any of this powder coat stuff to chip while it's inside within the clutch, and then the oil goes through there, and if anything chips, it'll go into the oil, oil goes into the engine, a lot of bad stuff. So make sure when you get anything done powder coating, that's going to be very in a crucial spot, that it's done correctly and it doesn't have any chippings or shavings or any of that stuff. Make sure you clean everything thoroughly. This screw right here went into this cap, which went into this spring, which screwed in the spring to the clutch. So this is the OEM one, and then this is the one that Vick provided. As you guys can see, big difference. But the color is amazing. Same specifications. You can ask for different colors. I don't know what colors he provides now, but this is one of the colors that you can get from Vick. Next, we come over to the clutch cover, the main thing. This is the OEM one. Then this right here is the aftermarket one. This came in gold, but we got this powder coated black screws. Looks really nice. You won't have to, if you just get the clutch cover from him, you won't have to go through any of the processes that I did of taking the gasket, taking this off, adding sealant, the mirror, all that stuff, or the glass. Don't have to worry about any of that because everything comes ready made, which is the best thing about him, is it's basically plug and play. But yeah, I wanted it powder coated, and again, this isn't the color you're seeing. It's a candy neon. It just doesn't come off in the camera. Hopefully will in the pictures, and I can show you guys the actual color. Moving on here, these are the OEM bolts that actually go inside here. So this is the one, the OEM, and then this is the one that provided from Vick. Again, you can choose the color. We chose this cool bluish purplish tint, that titanium look to it. Same specifications, it's just the color is different. Finally, we have the oil plug. So this plug right here goes into this location right here. So you open this, you add in oil to the bike, and then you tightly close this again, just like that. This again is the OEM one. This is the one provided by Vick. As you guys can see, this is the original color. It's a little bit darker, but again, the camera can't capture, and the natural lighting's hitting it. This is the original gold that this was in as well, and the caps, spring caps were in, and then we got it powder coated. So yeah, I got to clean this little shavings part right here for the powder coat. I still have yet to do that, so then none of the stuff will fall into the bike ever, which it shouldn't, because this is the top part of the cap. It'll never touch it, but I just want to be safe. And then we have the rest of the bolts and screws over there. But yeah, so that overall is all the parts that we're going to be using today. I'm going to start installing everything back on the bike, so we'll put the camera on the tripod and take it from there. All right, so it's finally installed. I just have to tighten these bolts down. Vick provided the torque specs. The first time I was putting this on, it wasn't clicking in, and the instructions did mention that I have to use my palms to push it in. I took it out, put it back on, and all I had to do was press this location where there's a pin, and there's a pin down here, and just use your thumbs on both sides, press evenly with even pressure, and it just snapped into place. So let me tighten everything up, and then we'll give our final review of the product, or the installation at least. And there she is, finally fully installed. So we also powder coated this. I was gonna do it for a different video, but I felt like just to show you guys where we're headed, I put this on. I haven't screwed this in all the way, but the frame sliders, we got these powder coated in the same exact color. It kind of shows, it's again, the lens just doesn't capture it. It makes it look a lot brighter than it is, and it is neon, but it's a candy neon, but it's fully complete. But yeah, it's on there. You guys can see the toolbox and the reflection of the glass. Looks amazing. I still need to take this off, put the little rubber thingy from the OEM one onto this, but besides that, we're looking good. I think it looks amazing, the color combination. Once I start taking pictures, you guys will really see the awesomeness of it. I did sneeze on it, by the way. I was torquing it, and I just torquing it, and I sneezed on it. Yeah, so I bet nobody's ever done that to their clutch cover, sneezed on it. The bolts look amazing. It looks a nice blue. I don't know, I'm in love with it. It just looks great. Currently the bike does not have oil in it. I need to color that too, because that just looks so bad. It's supposed to be a darker red, but because the sun hitting it, it's went to a lighter shade of red, but it's darker than what it looks like on here. But yeah, I have to fill this with oil, because right now it doesn't have any oil, because I did a oil and filter change, and while I was working on this, I didn't want to have oil spill out, so I just drained all the oil out of it and left it like that until the installation's done. The only way to find out that there's no leaks, everything's running good, is, well, by first adding oil, and then after that, starting the bike. So a little bit scared about that, but it's either gonna blow up or it's gonna run fine. So one or the two. So what I'm gonna do is add in the oil, and then afterwards we will start the bike back up, hook up the battery as well, which is right there, hook up the battery back, and start her up. And then I'm gonna record that and show you guys, and let's see how it goes. And we're back. So I filled in 3.7 quarts of oil into this. Also changed the plug, like I mentioned. The OEM plug has a rubber gasket or just a rubber ring on it or whatever. I took that off, put it on here, hand tightened this down, checked all the bolts. These bolts, everything looks good. You even see some oil right there as I was filling it in. Plugged in the battery again. Yeah, that's it. Now we just turn it on and see what happens. I'm extremely scared, nervous. Not scared, anxious and nervous. That's what I would say I am right now, of will this work or not. I pulled in the clutch in and out, everything looked good. So I think we're ready to go. And it's gonna be really loud, but I'm gonna cover my ears, so let's do this. I'm nervous. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I think it works. And there it is. So everything looks good. So you guys see the little humidity or whatever heat, you get a little circle there, but you see the oil bath, you see the way it turns. Everything looks good. I pulled in the clutch, everything felt nice, nothing felt stiff. I'll have the actual test of the clutch once I ride to see how the clutch feels. Hopefully this video can help other people with their installs. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll put in the links in the description below for the pressure plate, as well as Vick's information for where you can get one of these for your BMW S1000. Had a lot of fun installing this. It was a really breathtaking moment when it actually happened, because when it started spinning, because I don't know if it was gonna work or not, because I usually always have a hiccup whenever I install things. And we're gonna wrap this video up. Remember to subscribe only because you love me, because I love you. And until next time, this is Riding Insane. Take it easy. Peace.